Round 4. Potentially the last round, but we do need one clear winner with more seized objectives than the others. Let's see what happens this round. Right, here's Shadran's usual energy field bonus for his allies. And as always, we're starting off with the high elf fleets and then going anti-clockwise this time. Let's start with Gilcon, who will hunker down and try and cast Hide again. Did not work this time. Okay, Rat Swarm. We can't let the humans capture our home objectives, so they will rush around like this. 3 bitey bite bites. No hits. The Stormtrooper responds with his energy axe and also misses. Private Cohen and Private Gale swivel their autocannon to point at Shadran. We'll take the focus fire action, so that's +1 to hit and -1 to hit from the energy field, so 5s to hit. There's 1 hit. Armor piercing 2, but we have cover and shield wall, so defending on a 5. It goes through, and Shield of Grace goes past that as well, so that is another wound, which means Shadran, you now need to make a wound effect roll. That's 8, and he's down. Poor fella. Alright, I think the High Elves will give up on their attempt to get to that human home objective. So Sarik will turn around and take the charge action, pummeling into Captain Krenon. 2 swipes of the Stinger Blade, which is reliable. 1 hit, 5s to block. It's a 6. However, Stinger Blades are poisoned, so you need to re-roll that. Oh, it's still a dodge. Right, Krenon's close combat weapon scores 2 hits. Sarik dodges 1, but the other goes through. And there's no more Shield of Grace, so wound effect roll 6. Sarik is down. Not a great turn for the High Elves. Baba Splice has an opportunity to take this objective, so both caster points on casting Cracks. That hits Lyra F with an AP2 hit. And it goes through. Now on 3 wounds, I don't think Lyra F is going to survive this, so 2 + 3 is 5, +1 is 6. He's down. With the space now vacated, Baba Splice can simply climb up the ladder and capture the objective at the end of the round. Unless something weird happens and she dies. Okay, this human recruit is going to climb up here and shoot his rifle down at Gilcon, hitting on a 6. Nah. The last High Elf unit to move is Kaifar. Now, there's not much they can do about that objective. We've only 1 dice in attack. Can't get rid of Baba Splice, so he is going to walk this away and use his distortion gun on Captain Krenon. Quality 3. Oh, sad face. Okay, moving on to this Ratman operator. He's going to use his flamethrower on Sergeant Pine. Now it's a reliable weapon, but Pine is hunkering down, so he's going to need a 4 to hit. And it's a miss. I think Sergeant Pine's going to respond to that, so we'll take the focus fire action and shoot the fusion gun at the operator. It's a hit. AP lots. And it penetrates. And deadly free. And it's a kill. No more elves to move, so we'll activate Chitterflux, who will point his plasma rifle into the back of Kaifar's elemental protector suit. Focus fire action, that is a hit. Armor piercing 4, not dodged. So we're up to 3 wounds, which means Kaifar now needs to make a wound effect roll. And he's dead. The High Elves have really been quite unlucky in this battle. Sergeant Sharp is going to hold position and plonk a grenade over at the rat swarm. But unfortunately misses. Zilf. Okay. Zilf is going to advance this away and shoot his Sergeant Heavy Pistol at Joe Capricorn. Quality 4. It's a miss. The HDF mortar team will lob a shell over at Gilcon, only hitting on a 6. So that shell lands somewhere else. Okay, there's only human units left to move now, so we'll head over to Joe Capricorn. There is a very slim chance he could take out that rat swarm if he performs an assault, so that's what he'll do. First of all, he'll shoot his plasma pistol, which hits. Block roll for the rats. It's a wound. Here comes the charge, 2 swings with the energy axe. He's fatigued, so he needs 6s. Well, there's one. God knows what the other is. Okay. 1 hit. So the rat swarm persists and will swarm over Joe Capricorn with little bites. There's 1 hit. Forced to block. His armour protects him. And finally, Captain Krenon. He was kind of hoping Gilcon would have been dealt with by now, because he wanted to use his Kingslayer weapon on Baba Splice. However, we've got Gilcon to deal with. So, by the sword or by the gun, well, he's fatigued, and Gilcon is hunkering down, so it's going to be 6s to hit either way. So he's going to focus fire and fire his Master Rifle. We've got no hits. Right, that's the end of round 4. Let's find out what's happening with these objectives. So, over in the Ratmen corner, this objective is now contested. Weird telescope thingy is being seized by the Ratmen. Baba Splice seizes the High Elf home objective. This Dewberry is now contested. And this pile of junk has been seized by the HDF. So, the Ratmen have 2, the HDF have 2. That's no good, we don't want to draw, we need a winner. We're going into round 5. Oh, a quick morale check for Gilcon as the last High Elf standing. And he is fine-ish. Round 5 begins with Acolyte Gilcon, who will cast Soul Seeker at Captain Krenon. It fails, unfortunately. However, he still wants to ruin someone's day, so he's going to charge over at the autocannon team. Energy Sword at quality 4. Oh dear. So Gilcon fails to reclaim any honour there. Privates Corin and Gale will strike back with their close combat weapons and score 1 hit. Which is not blocked. This is very embarrassing for this Acolyte. And he's dead. All the High Elves are dead. Alright, moving on from that embarrassment, we're going to have Baba Splice jump down and advance here. She doesn't want to end the battle without at least casting lightning once, so both caster points are 4 or better for it to succeed. Yep, that's very good. Over at Captain Krenon, of course. A deadly hit with AP2. It's not blocked. How are you feeling, Krenon? You could be about to die here. 5, 6, 7, he is shaken. But not down. I think Krenon should hunker down right now before there's more incoming shots. Alright, we'll move Chitterflux next. He wants to get out of line of sight of that autocannon, so we'll advance here and then shoot his plasma rifle at Krenon. Krenon is hunkering, so 6s to hit. Close, but no cigar, as they say. Sergeant Sharp is going to hold right there and lob a grenade over at Chitterflux. I had a feeling I was going to roll a 6, that is weird. So yes, it's relentless, though that is in fact 2 grenades that have hit. And both armor saves have failed. And that's a kill. Can't believe how lucky the humans have been. Okay, we're going to have the rat swarm attack Joe Capricorn. Swarm bites, they all miss. Joe Capricorn swings back with his energy axe and also misses. Alright, let's let rip with the autocannon. I think Baba Splice is the only valid target. We have 1 hit. She has some cover, so 5s to save. Ha! So the autocannon shell hits the pipes. Right, the final Ratman unit is Zilf the Shiverborn, and they have to get rid of Joe Capricorn or they lose at the end of this round. So, let's charge! Hitting with the Electro Fist. 2 attacks at quality 4. There's 1 hit, 2 hits. Armor piercing 4. So that is 2 wounds for Joe. Can Joe survive? No, he's down. Just the rest of the human units now. The mortar team, there's nothing in range, so they'll move into that cover. The recruit will fire his rifle at Baba Splice. Missing. And finally, Sergeant Pine will rush over to the rad pits. Well, that's the end of the round. We have some morale checks to take for the rat men, because their army is now at half strength. So the rat swarm are shaken. Zilf the Shiverborn is just fine and dandy. And Baba Splice is a scaredy cat. That means the rat folk reclaim their supply point. And Captain Krenon claims this doohickey, which means it's 3 victory points apiece. It's still a draw. We're going to go into round 6. Here we go, round 6. So let's start with Baba Splice, who will hunker down. Sergeant Pine, while it's tempting to blast Zilf with the fusion gun, I think he better get over to this objective here. That is outside of Zilf's charge range, so Zilf will advance and fire his sergeant pistol. Oh, it's a complete miss. Captain Krenon activates and issues a take aim order, which only affects himself and the recruit, and then will fire his Kingslayer weapon at Baba Splice. So an extra 3 attacks with the Master Rifle, scoring 1 hit, armor piercing 4, that is 1 wound. All the rat swarm can do is hunker down. The human recruit fires his rifle at Baba Splice, knocking over a building and missing. The mortar team is just in range of Baba Splice now, so they'll give it a go. And hitting. 1 hit. Not a save, so need to make a wound effect roll now, Baba Splice. And she's dead. Well, I think the humans have got this in the bag, as they say. However, we will let Sergeant Sharp fire his grenade launcher at Zilf, which is a miss. And that is game over. So, at the end of the round, Rat Swarm's morale check. Shaken. Zilf is shaken. I would be as well, Zilf, don't worry about it. Sergeant Pine claims the telescope. And that is a victory for the human defence force with 4 objectives to the Ratmen's 2 objectives. Here we are, here's the victory lineup. Well done, Captain Krenon. What do you think? Were the humans just really lucky? In fact, they only took 3 casualties, but the High Elves really unlucky. I think so. But could it be that small elite teams are just not as good as larger teams?